Senator Manchin's and Senator Schumer's massive tax and spending bill has unfortunately, in my judgment, now passed. Because of inflation, Louisianians are really getting good at barely getting by, and that's true for most Americans too. As a result of Senator Manchin's bill, and I hope I'm wrong in this, but I predict that Joe-flation, as some people call it, will now refer to Joe Manchin, not President Biden.
I couldn't believe it when I heard it. $3 million for Sesame Street in Iraq, $3 million for vasectomies in Zambia, and $3.6 million for pastry classes and male prostitutes in Haiti. That's where my tax dollars are going. President Trump is finally saying enough is enough, sending Congress a bill to cut $9.1 billion of what he calls spending porn. It's gut check time for Washington. Either you believe in cutting waste, or you don't.
I want to say, Mr. President, next week, President Trump's going to send us over what's called a rescission bill. What does that mean? Well, we've got a $7 trillion budget, okay? I don't know how much of that $7 trillion is waste, but every fair-minded person would have to agree that there's some money being spent in that $7 trillion that shouldn't be spent. It just shouldn't. It's wasted money. And so President Trump and this Congress made one of its objectives trying to reduce spending. Not spending that we need to reduce, but spending that needs to be reduced. I call it spending porn. And the president has sent us a bill. He's saying to Congress, I want you to reduce spending in the current budget by $9.1 billion. And let me tell you what the spending, what constitutes the spending I want to reduce. Well, first, $9.1 billion out of a $7 trillion budget, we're not talking about a lot of money here. We're talking about 0.1%. That's all. That's point one. Point two, you need to look at what the president's asking us to cut out. I'll just give you a couple of examples. I didn't make this up. The president is saying we're giving $3 million to Iraq to produce Sesame Street. Maybe we could use that money for something else. The president is saying we're giving $3 million to Zambia for circumcisions and vasectomies. The president's saying we don't need to do that. We've got other priorities. We're giving $500,000 to Rwanda to buy electric buses. The president is saying to us, Congress, we don't need to be spending the money on that. There are more important things. We're spending $67,000 to give insect powder to kids in Madagascar. I don't even know what insect powder is, but the president's asking us to cut it out. We're giving $3,600,000 to Haiti for pastry cooking classes, for cyber cafes, for dance focus groups, for male prostitutes. The president's saying, I don't think so. I don't think that the American people support giving their hard-earned money to male prostitutes in Haiti. So he's asking us to cut it out. He's asking us to reduce the budget by $833,000 because some of President Biden's bureaucrats gave a contract to transgender people, sex workers, and their clients in Nepal. The president's saying, I don't want to do that. And he's right. That's enough. You get the idea. That's why I call it spending porn. Triggers your gag reflex. You look at this stuff and you go, what in God's name? Who decided to do this? Well, Congress didn't. The bureaucrats did. It's money we appropriated, but we didn't tell them to go spend money, $833,000, and give to sex workers in Nepal. They just took the money we appropriated and used it for that. And so the president is asking us to do what's called a rescission, to cancel the spending. Now, I have listened, I've been here 8 years, Mr. President, and I've listened to a whole bunch of people talk about the need to reduce spending. But you got to watch what people do, not what they say. Because talk is cheap. And around here, I've learned pretty quickly that reducing spending, it's like going to heaven. I want to go to heaven. I bet you want to go to heaven, Mr. President. I bet our guests in the gallery want to go to heaven. But everybody wants to go to heaven. Raise your hand if you're ready to take the trip today. Most people, you are, sir, and I admire that, but most people want to live a little longer. And that's the way it is with reducing spending around here. I want to reduce spending. I support it, but not just yet, because I've got this project. Well, and I've listened to that. And I've especially listened to it for the past 100 days. Go get them, President Trump. Reduce that spending. We're behind you 1,000%. Well, he has. He has. 0.1% he's asking us to reduce. And I'm not saying senators shouldn't ask questions and make some changes if they need to be made, but here's the bottom line. It is gut check time. It is gut check time. You either believe in reducing spending or you don't. And if you talk the game and say, let's reduce spending, and you vote against this bill, in my opinion, you ought to hide your head in a bag. Because you will be able to cut the hypocrisy with a knife. It's real hard, Mr. President, to preach temperance from a bar stool. It's gut check time. We need to pass this bill. I yield the floor, Mr. President.
When I first saw the list of where our government's money is actually going, I thought it had to be a joke. But it's real. The U.S. government is spending millions overseas on projects that make absolutely no sense, and we're the ones footing the bill. President Trump is sending Congress a rescission bill to claw back $9.1 billion in unnecessary spending from a $7 trillion budget. That's only about 0.1%, but it's a start. And honestly, after seeing the examples, I'm shocked we didn't do this sooner. $3 million for Sesame Street in Iraq. $3 million for circumcisions and vasectomies in Zambia. $500,000 to buy electric buses in Rwanda. $67,000 to give insect powder to kids in Madagascar, whatever that even means. And the kicker, $3.6 million in Haiti for pastry classes, cyber cafes, dance focus groups, and programs for male prostitutes. That's not just wasteful, it's insulting. People in America are struggling to pay bills, fill their gas tanks, and buy groceries, and our government is sending money to fund pastry lessons in Haiti? It gets worse. Nearly $1 million went to a Biden administration project in Nepal, funding programs for transgender people, sex workers, and their clients. I'm not against helping people, but why are American taxpayers being forced to pay for that overseas? Here's the thing. Congress didn't even specifically approve most of the spending. Bureaucrats did. They took the money that was appropriated and spent it however they wanted. Unelected officials using our money for pet projects that don't help a single American citizen. And now that Trump's trying to cancel this nonsense, watch what happens. Suddenly, the same people who love to talk about fiscal responsibility will start making excuses. Oh, we can't cut this program. We need to study it more, or it's too soon. Same old story. I loved what the senator said. Cutting spending in Washington is like wanting to go to heaven. Everyone says they want to, but nobody's ready to make the trip. Well, guess what? It's gut check time. If Congress really believes in cutting waste, they'll back this rescission bill. If they don't, they're just exposing their hypocrisy. Because you can't preach fiscal responsibility from a barstool. It's time for our leaders to stop talking and start acting. Stop wasting our money on projects that make America look like a global ATM. I'm tired of seeing our tax dollars vanish into nonsense while hardworking Americans get left behind. I stand with President Trump on this one. Cut the waste, drain the swamp, and put America first. If you agree, hit that like button, share this video, and make sure to subscribe. It's gut check time for Washington, and I'm watching every single vote.